How to say no? It becomes a big problem to say simple no sometimes. So let me suggest what you can do when you want to say no. Hi, I'm Veena BK, emotional healing coach, and I give emotional healing solutions for your practical problems. So, as a midlife mom, I'm a mom's coach. So, you face some circumstances, some situations when you just don't want to say yes. It may be anyone around you asking something. It may be your relative, your own family, or your colleagues, or your neighbors. But you want to say no, yet you can't. So, what do you do then? You don't want to hurt the other person, but yet you don't want to say yes. And if you say yes again, you'll suffer. You know that by experience. So, first and foremost, you have to be clear whether you really want to say no. Sometimes you yourself will be telling yourself, maybe I'll do it, maybe I can't, maybe I won't. If there's internal confusion, that no, even when you want to say it will not be clear, and you end up saying yes. So if there is already confusion in your mind, should you agree, disagree, or should you say no? So first, please get the clarity in yourself. So if I say what are the yes, what are the consequences? If I say no, what are the consequences? You can actually consider everything and then come to a clear yes or no. But most of the times they won't wait for an answer. The other person will be expecting an immediate answer. So you won't have time to think. Then what can you do? You have to actually take time. If it's not so urgent, everything will not be urgent in this life, right? So you can say, let me think about it. Okay, let me tell you tomorrow. I need some time to think, or I need to ask someone. Okay, great idea, but I need to, see my other appointments. So something like that you can convey to the other person. So you get that time. You get a little more time to think over, should I say yes or no? And if I say yes or no, what are the consequences? And can I be committed to my yes or no? So you will get a clear picture only after you give a thought. And more you do this, you won't need so much time. Even instantly, you can just analyze. Actually, you have to learn the habit of saying no. The most uncomfortable thing sometimes becomes just saying simple no. So the more you get comfortable with it, you'll be able to decide then and there. Sometimes you know this is not for me, but you can't say no. You know means KNOW no, but you can't say NO no. So the more and more you practice no, the more and more situations you come across where you can say no. Initially it will feel uncomfortable, but gradually you'll become okay with it. When you really want something, you will say yes. When you really don't want something, you will be able to say no naturally. It's like learning a new language. Saying no also, if you have not been doing till now, sometimes we are not assertive enough, we are very meek. Midlife moms, all these years we have been conditioned in a certain way that normally, especially to our family, we never say no. We have not learned to say no. Even though you are tired, your children ask, Mommy, can you do this for me? You will say yes. Or husband or in laws, they expect something, you will say yes. Though you don't want to, or you don't have time, or you don't have energy, you are used to saying yes. So it's a new behavior you have to learn, new way of reaction or response you have to learn. So coming to inner circle and outer circle. Inner circle is your immediate family, and you feel like going that extra length for them, nothing wrong. So go ahead, and even though you want to say no, if you really want to do something, sometimes you can't say no to family. And also there is give and take. There is give and take. Sometimes you compromise, or you do beyond your normal, what you can do for them. So and they also reciprocate. If that is the relationship, then it is okay. It is okay to sometimes give in and do what the other person is expecting, though you don't want to. If it is being reciprocated, so somehow it is give and take equation, so it goes well, especially with your inner circle. And even if you say no, the consequences may be something different which you are not ready to face. Instead of that, saying yes and doing the job is better than antagonizing the other person. For example, your boss or a neighbor you are seeing every day. So if it is a small demand, just kar lo, yes karke, just get it done, instead of worrying too much about it and saying no. Again, that person will mind, and you have to face that person again, or there'll be some kind of gossip. All these problems are there, right? When you say no in the Indian society context, it becomes a big issue. Simple no becomes a big issue. They'll brand you as maybe she's very egoistic, or she's never saying yes to whatever we ask. Some kind of impression people form. If they are of the outer circle, just don't care. I really tell you, if they are in the outer circle, some person you met someday, what's wrong in saying no? You need not go that extra mile for everyone and anyone, because then you put yourself to discomfort. If you say no to something, you are saying yes to some other thing. At the same time, if you say yes to them, you are saying no to something else you really want to do. Half-heartedly, you are saying yes. If it is fully coming from your heart, say yes to everyone, and then if you are able to meet their expectations, nothing wrong. But sometimes without thinking, we say yes and we get stuck. Then you don't know how to come out of it. You can't do something they have asked. Yes, because you said yes, maybe they'll ask you lend some amount. You will say yes. Then that amount you needed for something else. Then you are forced to give that amount, right? So this kind of tricky situations come. So better to borrow time, think over pros and cons, and maybe consult someone also if others are concerned. Or else again you say yes here and some other person becomes angry with you. Why didn't you even ask me? Right? So just better to think over and then say yes or no. If instant decision is required, go with your gut feeling, what you really want, be clear about it and say yes or no, and be fully committed to your yes or no. Keep up your promises, start to get aligned. My mentors tell me, when you are aligned with thoughts, words, and actions, there is no confusion, there is no inner conflict. And by the way, it's not so easy. This one sentence to follow it and become very comfortable with it, that whatever I think, that is what I speak, and whatever I speak, that is what I do. It's a huge thing in life. It's a big achievement if you can do that. But you can start being authentic. So at times, at least, you implement what you spoke. So gradually get into that habit of keeping your promises, so that you will be clear. If you say yes, okay, your mind will know, okay, if I say just that simple yes, I have to keep up my word. Then you will be alert. You will be alert if it becomes a part of you, of your character, that whenever I say yes, I'll do it 100%. If I say no, I'm clear, and I'll say a clear no. So you are very clear in your mind. So it becomes a habit with you that you say yes only when required, and you say no only when required. So you all are moms, especially with children. You want to say no, and it's so difficult. Children don't listen to you. They start some problems because you said no. And they have sometimes unreasonable demands, which you can't say yes every time, right? And if you say no, there are some reactions from the children's side, which is so difficult to face. So with children especially, set your expectations clear. Let the expectation be very clear. Let both the parties have clarity. In spite of having clarity, children will come to you again and again. On a Sunday, you tell them, see, this is the pocket money you'll get, and you'll have to manage your expenses with this amount. They'll say, okay, okay. Then they'll come, I exhausted my pocket money, give me some more. Clear rules are set, yet they come and ask you. So you have to be very consistent with your expectations and also implementation. Otherwise, if you give in, it becomes a habit that child will understand. Okay, mommy or dad, they'll go, though rules are set or understanding is there, sometimes they will compromise. So then it becomes a habit. And what I suggest as a parent myself to other parents, choose your battles, they say. Even with children, for everything, if you tell no, no, no to them, even small child questions. I have moms tell me, my child says, why do you always say no? Why are you always opposing me? Why do you have so many rules? These days, children question a lot. So even when you say no, tell them with a valid, proper reason. Give them reasons, try to convince them. Simple no will work with two distant people. You can just say no and you can just come away. But with children, they need that reassurance. With no itself, they are hurt. So no, because of this reason, or maybe you can promise them, I'll get you next week. You can have. So try everything and be very patient with children when you say no. And later, if they create some tantrum, if they sulk, if they start crying, if they start shouting, it's okay. You'll need to have the patience to tolerate that also. As a mother, mother requires a lot of patience, lot of inner strength, lot of that emotional support she needs actually Everyone depends on her. If she starts shouting, imagine what will the house situation be. So we can't let that happen, right? Because we become angry, the entire everyone will be affected. They don't realize that, whether others realize that or not. It is so important to retain your calmness. So as a mom, be very patient. Repeatedly, you may have to tell. So with children, be a little flexible. In small things you can just give in if it is not your big expectation. So why control them for everything? So maybe their studies, yes. Gadget time, yes, you need to be strict. And generally eating nutritious food, yes. And maybe some basic habits, that's it. So simple things you just implement and gradually build that good habits in them. So drastic changes will not happen with children, you know that. So set small expectations and just build on it. You will also learn how to set expectations and they'll also learn how to follow it. So this is parenting advice in the context of no, I just shared with you. So children need to learn that when a parent says no, it means no. You have to be consistent, say no with a firm voice and also with reasons. And after no consequences, you'll be ready to face also. You'll be ready, you'll be okay with it. Like however the child reacts, you'll not give in, so that the child knows mom or dad will not listen to me and no means no. So that message has to go to the child. This was about the parents telling no to the kids. So just ponder upon this. And also one more last point I would like to add. So whenever you have to say no to person, sometimes you can't just be very firm and be aloof and say, okay, no, I don't want. You may have to be very tactful with some people. You know who they are in your life. You don't want to hurt the person, or you don't want that person to feel offended. So you say no it in different nice words. So you have seen such people around you. They are very polite and very clever, and no one feels hurt, but they'll not accept anything and everything whatever others ask of them. So just learn that language. Say, I would have loved to, but I have this urgent work. So next time definitely pakka karunga main. Some people are there like that. They talk very nicely. You don't get hurt. You only start telling them it's okay. Next time we'll meet. It's okay. That kind of response they'll get from other persons. So be very tactful sometimes when needed. So tell them, instead of telling no, you can tell them, sorry, I can't make it this time, or maybe next time we will meet. So some standard sentences you can have and just say that, so that that person will also understand it's a no, but they won't be so hurt or offended when there's a valid reason you're giving and very politely, nicely you're telling them. So just practice these tips and become comfortable with no. And most importantly, you yourself has to be clear. If it is a clear yes, say yes. If it is a clear no, say no. So learn this by practicing more and more. It won't come in 1 day, 2 days. It will need a month or 2 months if you start practicing. So just practice this. And I invite you to my free masterclass, which is happening this Thursday at 9 p.m. It is a Ma Healing Masterclass for emotional healing for midlife moms. I'll leave a link below. Definitely register and join. So I'll meet you live in that session. See you. Take care. Bye bye.